right, so we're about a half hour outside Fort Pierce. There's a distinct possibility that we might make coffee today. Yay! We'll see what happens. We'll be in the entrance for about 3:30, which is coffee time, but maybe another half hour up into Fort Pierce. We're staying at the Safe Harbor all the way up on the inside of there, so we still got to come through here. So, but there is a coffee shop right about there, I think, so I'll probably be able to get it for at least 4 o'clock, which is inside the window of coffee time. So, running 2300 RPM, sea conditions are improved. Very nice out. Crystal clear blue water. Really, really nice. A couple boats around, a little bit more traffic than we've had most of the day. A bunch of sailboats up here and 2 power boats over in that direction. We have done potentially our clearing in already for the Bahamas. We're going to stop. We're going back to our normal scheduled route. We're going to go to Green Turtle and check in there, but the problem is that they only work from 9 to 1, and by the time we get the dog taken care of and get out of here, we're not going to make it in time. So we reverted back to stopping in West End tomorrow, which is only about a 5-hour crossing. And then the next day we'll go from West End over to Hopetown over in Abaco. So that's still our game plan. We're going to provision a little bit. Thinking through all the stuff we needed, I realized that this boat has not been out of the United States yet. So we need a quarantine flag. We'll do quarantine procedure maybe tomorrow. If I feel like maybe we'll videotape that, we'll see what happens. But anyway, we've tried to check in already, but we still need to fly the quarantine flag, which is a yellow flag that says that basically we haven't checked in yet and we have to get cleared by customs and immigration. And then once that happens, we take that flag down and we put up the flag, the courtesy flag of the Bahamas. So it's a smaller flag that we would fly. So I'm going to go to West Marine. I'm going to get both of those flags so we're legal as we come in to port or come into the Bahamas. And about a half hour left here. I'm going to try and source that water leak on the engine on the starboard side. We'll see what's going on with that. See if I can't fix that. Not overly concerned with it. Apparently it's been happening for a while. So we'll just monitor it. If I can't fix it, we'll find out what it is. And then I'll let you know about that. Otherwise, we've got a nice smooth ride coming in for the last little bit. And we're going to try and make coffee. Lord, there you go.
Got it. Okay, here we go.
Alright, if you look over, you can see everybody on the side of the inlet watching us try and come in. We have a strong outgoing tide, so you got to really time.
Holy.
Really time coming in and out off of these waves. I just had a second to give the owner the phone so she could record this, so you got to really ride them in and be careful.
Oh my gosh, it's
You got to
beautiful.
throttle up, throttle back, throttle up, throttle back. There we go, and we're safely in the inlet. So we had a couple come over the top. That's when I said, hey, we should record this. As usual, I've forgotten to record stuff, but we are now safely in the inlet. And if you turn around, you can see where this came from. So it'll be a nice little wild ride. And what you don't want to do is come off the top of a wave and bury your bow, because you've got another wave that's rolling in behind you, and that's going to broach the boat, and you're going to end up broaching is turning sideways, and then you're going to be in a world of hurt, and it's going to be very difficult to get out of that. So you got to be very careful when you come in how you're riding those waves in and out, so you're not coming over the top of the crest of the wave. So you got to throttle in, throttle out, throttle in, throttle out, and make sure you keep the boat straight so you're not diving down into it and burying the bow. That can be pretty dangerous, but you can see it's vastly different right now than it was just a couple minutes ago. So we've made it safely in here, and we're going to come up. It's getting close to coffee time. I think we'll be in the window. So we're going to guys are anchored up. It was supposed to be slack tide at 3:30. I mean, look how the current is just rolling through here. And it's close to 3:30, so I'm not quite sure what's going on, but this is more than just river getting dumped out. We're only doing 5 knots and 1200 RPM. We should be doing like 8 or 9. So 3-knot current for sure rolling through here. And we got a sailboater in front of us, so we should make it to the dock between now and dinner time. So that's great.
That's all right.
Look at the current rolling through here. Woo! Cool. Alright, we'll see you at the dock. Okay, well, good morning. I was supposed to be heading off to the west end of the Bahamas today. And there's a reason why I'm a working boat captain, and that's the name of the channel, is because nothing ever goes right. So, sourcing a little water leak that was going down, and this is a contained area here. That way, if any oil or anything else like that falls into the bilge, it doesn't get pumped overboard. It's a contained area, so this is not a bilgeable or bilge pump area down in here. And we're getting water down in here. So yesterday afternoon, I was able to finally source where that was coming from, and it was coming from the water pump. So the seal is leaking between the gear housing and the water pump. And there's actually a bleeder, which is right there. So if it does leak, it leaks down into the bilge. Now, what I've surmised is that is a fail-safe, because this pump, of course, it can't be easy. This pump's not like normal pumps. It goes, there's your impeller right there, and there's your supply side and your discharge side, what comes up and then goes into the coolers. This has a shaft that goes all the way through the gearing housing and everything else. So there's a big gear inside of here, and then here's your pulley, and you gotta pull the pulley off. There's your little spline, your pin set for your pulley puller. So it goes all the way through here. So it's geared and everything else, but there's oil inside of here. So if that seal breaks, you don't want salt water getting inside your oil. So that's the reason why they have that discharge right there. That's what I'm thinking. And that's leaking. Now all of this is well and good, because it seems pretty easy, right, to just take this off and do it. But the problem is, it's not on that side. It's on this side. Let me crawl back in here. So here's the tube that I dislodged from the bilge, which you couldn't see, and I verified that it was leaking out of here. So that's how I know that it's the water pump. I just pulled the two belts off by loosening up the alternator. And let me just crawl in here. You can see how much space I have? Hold on, it's still crawling in here. Okay, so there's this much space. The water pump is back there. There's the hose that comes in. If you can barely see that, that's good, because I can't barely see it either. So I can pull the nut off there and pull the pulley out. I'm gonna have to borrow a pulley puller because, well, I don't have all my tools with me, and we literally bought an Amazon kit, so I can't even expand this enough. But that's the pump right there that I've got to get off. I'm gonna have to do this literally blind with one hand, because that's all I can get back there. I can't get around. I can't get two hands around here. So this is going to be literally an all-day project. Oh, and I can't do the seacock shutdown on this because it's like frozen. So even though they look new, I can't shut it down. So I'm going to have to deal with this as well. Hopefully water's not going to be pouring out, and I'm going to be above the water line here. So yeah, I have the part getting overnighted to me. So I've got all day to get this thing out of here. This is going to be a tough job. This is going to be one of the tougher ones. Not even I can fit in there. There is 8 inches, maybe, between the water tank and the engine. And there is I'm laying down, as you can see. So there's just, this is all the room I got. This is gonna be a long day. It's supposed to be a nice day to the west end of Bahamas. We'll see, maybe we'll get there. Oh, there's also some family issues going on with the owners, so we don't even know what's going on with that, so we're holding off and waiting on that. So I'm gonna start doing this with literally an Amazon toolbox. This should be fun. Okay, walking back from the Yanmar place down there. That was a little sketch. Nice guy though, very interesting. So walking back to the marina, because it was a $7 Uber ride and it's literally right around the corner, but it's right there. So parts on order. I got a lot of the parts apart by using the Amazon toolkit that we got, but I have no leverage. So I've got to now go to an auto parts store and at least get an extension for, and probably a breaker bar, to be honest with you, to break the 4 bolts off for the pump. And then from there, this guy's gonna let me borrow his pulley puller, and I should be able to get the pulley off, and the pump should be here tomorrow. And hopefully, with any luck, I'll be able to swap this stuff over using my Amazon toolkit, which is almost fun. It's kind of like, how can you do a really hard job and use the minimalist amount of parts or toolkit? It's kind of a fun thing. Maybe we'll make that a challenge. Rip this engine apart with a screwdriver and a drumstick. I don't know. Anyway, walking back into Safe Harbor, and probably gonna grab another Uber to head out to get the extension. One-handed and blind. Oh my God. I'm trying to get the bottom one out first. Oh, good. Bilge guys are gonna get this again. Oh my God. Oh. The socket is stuck on the fucking bolt. Oh my God. Okay, got it back in. Oh. I lost my socket. I don't know why this is not coming out. Oh boy. This is once again going bad to worse. So now the socket is stuck on the bolt, blindly behind here. working one hand. Oh good, I think it's bottomed out on the pump. You've got to be kidding me. How? If you guys are an engineer, you should be fired for this. This is just egregious. The socket is bottoming out on the pump. That's why I can't get the socket back off. One hand, I've now lost a 12mm socket and can't get this out. Oh my god. I'm gonna shut this off for a second because I'm gonna kill somebody. Okay, for all you sicko engineers out there, this is ridiculous. Learn how to build crap that can be serviced. I finally got this pulley off here. 9 attempts with 4 different types of pulleys, and I still didn't use the right one, or still couldn't use the right one the right way, but thank God that's pretty thick. It was hitting the shroud here, hitting the shroud here, hitting the shroud there. What a nightmare. So, I don't know what time it is, 4 or 5 o'clock maybe, and pulling this pulley has taken me literally over 2 hours, I think. I finally got it off, so hopefully I'll be able to, there's a keyway right here, right there. I'm gonna pull the keyway. I've already got it loose, so hopefully this should just pull out of here. But damn, that's ridiculous. And again, you can see, this is all I can show you. This is all the area that I've got. I'm literally sitting on top of a water pump, which I've crushed the top to. But, you know, you guys really need to learn how to build things a little bit better or more serviceable. This is just ridiculous. So hopefully the pump will be here tomorrow morning at some point, and I can just throw this thing back in, put the keyway back on, put the pulley back on, tighten the nut down, and I've got all new hoses and gaskets and everything else that's coming. So, and then the plan for tomorrow, depending on when it comes, we're theoretically going to go back up to St. Augustine. We're not going to do the Bahamas trip. So we're going to do St. Augustine and then hopefully back up to Charleston, and I'll make charter on Saturday. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to give you another round of this a little bit later. I'm sweating my butt off here, so I'm going to get out, pull this keyway, and then I'm probably going to have a drink. Gonna have a drink!
Yes, water, beer.
Alcoholic drink. Huh? Alcohol.
Damn right. I'm gonna put it in a solo cup.
All right, I'll talk to you. Okay, so before the day gets too crazy, I just dropped off the old pump and the pulley puller back off of Tim's shop, which is literally right around the corner. Of course, I just walked about 40 pounds of crap in a box over there. But I'm going to have him pull the gear and put that back on because there's another set pin on that. So I'm just going to have him take care of all that. And because you really need to put it on a bench in order to do that properly. And so he'll switch it over. He's already said to me that it's on order. It should be delivered. He gets the packages every day. So I'm hopeful he'll be here for 10 o'clock, and then the goal is maybe to make Augustine. Whoa. What did I just say? Make Augustine? We just came from there. All right, so here's the deal. We're probably not going to make West End and Bahamas. So long and short of it is the owner also started having some family issues that she needed to deal with. And the best option was really for us to turn back around and head back to Charleston. As hard of a decision it was because we really planned this trip for like a year, this was really the best decision. So even though we were backed up by like half a day on this water pump, we were totally on schedule to make West End and Hopetown. But this was really the best decision. So there's the little secret.
But my ditch is like Canaveral or something like that, which is only 60 miles away. And I can do that in like 3 hours. So hopefully I can get this pump back on. I'm gonna leave it with him. He seems pretty knowledgeable in the pump. He's got lathes and stuff like that to turn the shafts down and get all the seals back in and stuff. So I'm gonna let him keep it and do it. There's no sense in, you know, sending it back out and spending $100 on delivery when this guy's completely capable of rebuilding the pump. And he's been good to us. So, you know, let me borrow his tools and stuff like that. So, and he was able to get it overnight. Well, I think anyway. So we'll see. Leave it with him. He'll rebuild it. Far cry from buying another new pump, and then we'll have a backup on board, which would be great. So I'm going to head back to the boat, just try and do some boat checks, and then do some more trip planning. The seas look freaking awesome today. 1 foot, 10 seconds or something like that. Oh man, I'd like to boogie down on that. So the rest of the week's turning a little bit, but it's still doable. 3 feet, 5 seconds, coming out of the east southeast for the winds, 10 to 15. So pretty much what we had going down, but it's going to be on the flip side because we're heading back north. So it might be more a little bit on the nose as opposed to on the beam. So we'll see how that works. So I'd like to get as far as I possibly can today to get back up to Charleston. Still have a couple days to do it. I posed kind of going overnight. Doesn't bother me really at all. But we've got, you know, an owner who's never done an overnight trip and a dog on board. So, you know, we might be doing dusk, maybe a little bit into the dark, but I think I'm going to rule out the overnight trip or coming in at 2 a.m. in the morning or something just to get home. So, all right, almost back at the boat. We'll see what the rest of the morning brings. I was able to do some shopping when I grabbed my coffee this morning. So Captain Marley has her snow globe, which is what I was told to bring back. I can't come back into Charleston without getting her something. So I got her a snow globe. She has a whole rack of snow globes that I've gotten her from all of my travels and stuff like that. So, yep, heading back to the boat. We'll see what the rest of the day brings, but I want to do an update before I got crazy and forgot to do anything until I got in tonight. So, keep you posted. Okay, it's 11:55. Heading back over. The pump's in. I think he's got it switched over. I had a hard time yesterday getting the keyway out for the pulley. And surprisingly enough, he did too, which is why I kind of wanted him to put it on the bench. So he's nice enough to ask me to bring the pulley back over just to make sure that it fits properly. And if it doesn't, then he can machine it down and get it sanded up and cleaned up. He's got a lathe over there. So, nice view in here. So I'm frantically walking back over, hopefully going to grab the part, give the guy a check, and then get it put in. We're going to fuel, and we're going to try and make Augustine.
Okay, I'm going to leave it here and show you the install and then a night run up to St. Augustine, and I've got some video on that. So until next time, thanks for watching.